Today, we're going to go over the weakest part of my game, my forehand. And who knows, it might even be helpful. Spin it. Hey DMD family, welcome back to another Discs MD video. Bunky here, and I'm sorry. I know I said I was going to do these more frequently, but things just didn't cooperate, although I am starting to feel like myself now. So we're going to start trying to get back to more regular videos, hopefully to begin every other week, and then get back into once a week again. Once softball season closes, I'll probably be able to get back into once a week. So thank you for your patience and hanging in there with me, and I'm coming back strong fairly soon. Now, some administrative stuff, as always, links in the description below of the people that I support. Those links are for discounts for you and to promote the people that sell those products because I believe in them, right? I don't do this for me. If I did this for me, I would have stopped long ago. I just don't make money at this. And that's fine. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the prestige. I said this in my last video. Those discounts are to save you money and to help the people that produce those products because I believe in them. So go ahead and use those links. Get yourself a little bit of a discount. The other thing is if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that my goal, my aspiration is to be a coach, to coach disc golf. And I'm now taking steps to make that a reality. I have some things in the works that I'm pretty excited about, but I need a portfolio. So if you are a beginner or a beginning intermediate player and would like for me to give you some form reviews, give you some help, you can help me out while I help you out. Hit me up in Facebook or Instagram. Both those links are below, and let's work something out. The first several people that contact me, we'll set something up and do some form reviews. And again, like I said, I'll help you out, and you'll help me sort of build a portfolio for coaching. So that's that. Just throwing that out there for anybody that's interested. Now, enough of that administrative stuff. Let's get on to what we're here to talk about. All right, so my forehand. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that historically my forehand has been not good. I have a lot of wobble. I don't have a lot of distance. If I throw 270, it's probably far for me. I don't throw the forehand off the tee a lot, if ever, because I just can't throw far. But that's changed recently just because of something that I stumbled upon when I was coaching softball. We have a fairly new team. And our high school JV team, most of them have really never played softball before, ever. But we were coaching them, teaching them how to throw. It dawned upon me that I was not doing something I was telling them to do, right? So in throwing a softball, we teach them elbow up, even with the shoulder, ball back away from your head, set up, side on to the target, turn and throw, right? Keeping your arm up as you throw. Boom. Okay. Usually, the main problem with girls, I find this more than with guys. I don't know why. They tend to drop their shoulder here and throw from down here. So we teach them keep this angle the whole way through. Right. Don't let your elbow drop. Keep this angle the whole way through as you throw. And this team is very coachable, and they do what you tell them to do. But then I found that this is the motion that I'm seeing them use to throw, right? So if you're savvy on throwing, you see the problem with that. This unit here is static, and it's staying in line with my shoulders as I turn, right? There's no movement in the shoulder or the elbow really at all. So they did what we told them to. They were being very coachable, but they weren't getting the zip on their ball because they weren't lagging their ball behind as they threw, right? So I told them, you need to lead with your elbow as you're throwing. If you watch pitchers, if you watch outfielders, their forearm is laid way back, right? Their elbow leads, then they snap, and snap their wrist, right? So that's how it works. It's like a whip. It's a true lag. And as I'm coaching them, I'm thinking to myself, this has application to my forehand. Like, I knew this, and I know that people have said this, and this is probably just a reminder video for a lot of people, but intentionally working on that lag, I've never done that. Like, I've worked on wrist snap, I've worked on foot placement, I've worked on turning my shoulders, moving as a unit, but I've never really intentionally worked on lagging my disc behind my throw. So the past couple months, past month and a half, that's what I've been doing. There's been 2 points that I've been focusing on, and I want to go over them in this video: my elbow and my wrist. So let's go over the first one, the wrist. Now, we all know, lay your wrist back, right? Lay your wrist back. Just set it back. Like Josh tells me, get your grip and then cock your wrist back and have it just cocked back, right? That's your wrist lag. And it's as easy as it is to just set it and forget it, right? And then as you go, you're gonna drag your wrist forward, leaving your fingers behind, right? Drag your wrist forward and leave your fingers behind, and then snap through at the very end. And when you snap your wrist. Don't snap your fingers, okay? I've done this, and I think explained this wrong in the past, and if I go back into my other videos and I find this, I may remove them, maybe not. Oh, and now he's doing his lawnmower. Well, hopefully I can talk over that. You don't want to snap your fingers, right? Josh noticed this when I was down with him the last time, about 8 months ago or so. He's like, did you know you're pretty harshly snapping your fingers when you're coming through your forehand? He's like, you probably don't want to do that. And the reason is it messes with the angle. It's easier to mess with the angle of your disc if you're snapping with your fingers. And now the wind's picking up. Everything's fighting against me doing this video today. So the snapping of my fingers, because I wanted to feel the pressure of the flight plate, I was trying to get that feel by snapping my fingers through. But that was also causing me to torque the disc in such a way as to cause wobble, right? So most of my wobble problems were, I believe, related to me snapping my fingers. You don't want to snap your fingers, you want to snap your wrist and push your fingers through the disc, right? You can do both. You can snap just your wrist, so keep your hand static, right? But just snap your wrist and push your fingers through with your hand being here in the same position, right? Keep your hand in the same position, snap your wrist through, and feel the pressure on your fingers. The easiest way to feel this is a drill that Josh has used in his videos in the past, or if you go to his Patreon form reviews online, he talks about this with some people as well, and he used this with me. Let me show you what it is. All right, so find a blank wall, outside, inside, whatever, and put your hand flat against it, position it sort of behind you, and then just pull your hand through the wall all the way until your fingers come off of it, okay? And just feel that snap. Keep your fingers, don't snap your fingers, just snap your wrist at the end, right? So feel the lag and the drag of that against the wall, and just sit here and get the feel of it. As much as you can, as long as you can, just run your hand down the wall. So now what would be beneficial would be to have a place where you can do that and then instantly go to a disc and feel the same thing. I have a fence right behind me. That's what you heard, me hitting my fence, right? So then I get that feel on the wall and then step right aside and get that feel on a disc, and just back and forth, feel what wrist lag feels like, okay? So that's point one that I've been focusing on, lagging my wrist behind and then snapping at the very end. All right, so area of focus number 2 is my elbow. I'm actively, deliberately throwing my elbow in front of my disc, right? So I have my wrist set back, cocked back and set. I'm lagging my wrist through, but before that, I need to throw my elbow to my target. And before, I was so worried about my wrist and my fingers that I wasn't even caring where my elbow was. And my forehands looked something like this, which isn't bad for like approaches or something like that. But if you want any distance, moving your wrist in front of your elbow is not a recipe for success. You need to throw your elbow before your wrist. And it doesn't feel comfortable, no. And that's why a lot of the big forearm throwers sometimes have elbow issues, maybe some shoulder issues. Because if you look at like, say, Eagle or Gannon or AB or Ricky, their elbows are way out in front and their hands are way back here, and then they snap through, right? But at some level, you need to get your elbow in front of your wrist if you want to generate more power. And in order to do that, you have to be intentional about it. And man, this wind is really whipping and my net is going to blow over. So as I am throwing now, it is lay my wrist back, but throw my elbow forward and then finish with my wrist. And I find that if I focus on my elbow hard enough, that I don't worry about my wrist until the very end, and I'm like, oh yeah, my wrist, snap it. And the timing works. But I need to throw that elbow forward before my hand starts. And you'll feel the tension. So this past Saturday, I threw in a tournament up in Fairview Park disc golf course for our Red Rose Roundup tournament series. Sean Conroy does an awesome job, so shout out to him. But that course has 7 different holes where I need to throw a forehand if I want to keep pace. And hole number 1 is the longest. It's a 367-foot hole that I have to throw forehand on. And typically in the past, I've played for par on that one because I'm like throw 270 out and then I have a 100-foot approach shot and hopefully get it close enough to basket to, you know, have a nice tap in for par. This past weekend, I was actually within 50 or 60 feet of the pin, which means I threw a 300-foot forehand for the first time ever. And after that tournament, I felt in here, and it was sore. Like not painful hurting, not in a bad way, in a good way. Like when you've worked out, you're like, whew, man, I felt that, feels good, right? The same way, it's like, oh, I felt, so I was doing it right. I was throwing my elbow forward, lagging my hand, and then snapping everything through at the end. And because of that, I felt something that I've never felt before, which is good. So then how then, we have something to help us with our wrist lag. So how then do we get the feel of throwing that elbow forward, of getting the mind attached to the elbow to throw it forward? So let's go back over to the shed. All right, again, here we are. And what you're gonna want to do now is, if you're inside, find a corner wall or a door frame, either way. And I got this from Stepwise Disc Golf. He does this for the backhand, but I'm now implementing it for my forehand, right? So I'm at the corner of my shed, and I'm gonna put my fingers on this back wall. If you're on a door frame, you just grab the door frame, right? Get even with your hand, and then step forward, right? Well, get inside onto your target, step forward and turn your shoulders and hold on to that door frame and throw your elbow forward, okay? And you'll feel what it should feel like to put tension on that elbow as you throw it forward. Now, don't get all crazy on me and start ripping through and trying to pull as hard as you can on the door frame, or you're gonna injure yourself. Don't do that, okay? You want to feel what it feels like to create that tension, but you don't want to tear anything. So please do this gently, right? Grab the door frame or the corner, get in your side arm, step, turn, and then throw that elbow forward, right? And also your wrist should automatically, if you have it in your head, lay back as well. So you have your elbow forward, your wrist laid back, and if you want to keep with the drill, run your hand down and let your wrist lag and then flip it at the end. So grab, step, turn, elbow forward, wrist forward, slide, and then go all the way through. And then again, if you're in a place where you can, do the same thing. Okay? And get the feel of this transferred right into being able to throw the disc and feel that elbow going forward, wrist lagging, and then snapping everything through at the end. Tell you what, I've gained an extra at least 30 feet with my forearm from working on this. And again, this might be something that everybody's like, no duh, but it was something that I wasn't being deliberate and intentional about practicing. So if you want distance on your forearm, you don't have it right now, and you want a little bit more distance, try this out and see if it works, see if it helps. Well, that's all I have for you. As always, thank you for your support. Thanks for watching. Put in the comments below what else you want to see from me, and I'll try to get to it. But until next time, enjoy the journey. Here's your verse of the day.